it's important to be ourselves, but up to a certain limit also, because we don't have to forget that we are interpreters. It's like people who translate a book in a certain way. So, and of course, the text can be interpreted in different ways, but
there's never a right or a wrong way in music, in art in general. The music guides us, and we use the music to, to be transmitted, its message be transmitted to the audience. So there is different interpretation, but also we're always in search of some kind of truth, which it's not very easy to grasp, but there is this never-ending process.
I think being myself means also that I am trying to answer my questions.
Everything is possible within a good taste. And it's really interesting because what is good taste also is a big question, but it's a matter also of education and personal limits or personal freedom and matter of all your life. Yeah, so everyone has his own good taste or not good.
As competitors, we have to understand that we're on the same boat. You have to sit down and do your best.
At the moment on the stage, you have to be very convinced.
You can be inspired by other musicians, but you also learn from those who don't play well at all. I figured that out as I was teaching, and also when I go myself to piano competition as a juror now, because there's always something to learn, even from those who don't play good, because then you have to think why.
It's not a personal concurrence, absolutely, for me.
The world is so big, there are so many concert venues, there's room for everybody.
At the moment you think that you're good enough, you're ready to die, because there is really nothing that it can't be learned, So yes, just keep living with the music and keep loving it. I think that's crucial. 1994?
Yes,
Pietro.
correct.
And Dénes, 1991?
Yes.
And the day of the final, in my case, was Friday the 17th of June. In Italy, a lot of people are very superstitious, and venerdì 17, Friday 17, is the worst. So there are people who really don't go out if it is Friday the 17th. And I remember I was playing for the first time Brahms Piano Concerto No. 2. But since then, it has been a lucky day for me, ever. I have been performing lots of new concertos on Friday the 17th.
Yeah, so I was 7 years old. Just finished second year of my just normal school. So I just started to play piano recently. And probably was just playing football somewhere.
I remember very well, Friday, June 17th was the very beginning of the World Cup in '94 in the States, and I was watching TV. Germany was playing. That I remember, and I was 8, and I was in my grandparents' house. I didn't probably practice that day.
And the final was Italy versus Brazil.
And we won in a horrible match, but yes. In penalty shootouts.
With penalties.
Yes.
I remember actually.
I think it was the 14th of June, if I'm not mistaken, in '91. I don't remember whether it was Friday. It's funny because for us it's 13th, Friday the 13th is this bad luck day.
Artistry cannot be explained, I think.
And also I feel that the craftsmanship should be made with artistry. So I think that's important, that it should never be. So if being a craftsman means being narrow-minded or bored or something, then not. But somehow, if you practice with fantasy, even the easiest, if the technical things or very objective things, that makes, I think, a big difference. That you always have to be sort of there with curiosity and so I think for me these two things should be somehow together.
I think, you know, the word art itself already brings up the fact that it's actually artificial. But the thing about being artistry is making the artificial as natural as possible. So obviously, for that to happen, you need to have craft. So it's this continuous process of really trying as best as you can with your craft to make it sound intelligible and meaningful, you know, without looking too fussy or too like worked out. So it's like it's really challenging, but I mean, there's no art without craft, basically.
I think for a competition, you don't have to be perfect or anything. No, these are false expectations. But my advice would ever be just that music and the love for music and the urge for getting closer, and this should be always the most important. So let's not put the emphasis on other things.
Make sure that the repertoire is what you really love to play, and that's something you can feel strong about, so you can, you know, deliver something that is really meaningful.
The Géza Anda competition is a very good example for this, because it was not a competitive competition.
See you in Zurich.